What is up, YouTube? It has been a minute since I've made a video. It's been a minute since I've wanted to make a video. It is January 22nd, 2026 right now, 11 a.m. And I don't know, the last little bit of 2025 was crazy and has just really put into perspective how evil the world is. But I've been getting closer to God, going to church every Sunday, and through doing so, and I don't want people to think like I don't go to like Bible studies or anything like that. Like, nobody's talked to me and persuaded me to start feeling this way. I felt empty and I felt lost for a good majority of my life, and I'm tired of feeling that way. So I figure one of the best ways to change how I feel is to change how I'm acting and behaving. And the main thing that I guess that kind of boils down to, and then also hand in hand with getting closer to God, is me wanting to cure myself, fix myself of homosexual tendencies and temptations. I see it as the devil having its grip on me, and I can, like, every time I try to, or in the past, this is like my second time of trying to at least be celibate. I wasn't fully trying to give up being gay a few months ago, but the first time, wanted to not be doing the promiscuous behaviors that I was. And leading up to that point, I had a coworker and a friend that I had kind of like gently and aggressively said, very sexual things to. And both of them, those months leading up to an incident, were very like, I'm straight, it's not for me. And once I took it upon myself to actually be celibate and get closer to God, they both came at me and said, you know what, maybe we can try something. And to me, that's the devil working. That's the devil trying to keep me in his grips and saying, listen, I hear what you're saying. I hear you trying to give up on this lifestyle, but I got something for you. I got what you've been wanting. And so I caved in and did those things that I've wanted to do. And even after, wanting them for so long and then finally getting them, what did I feel in the end? Nothing. I felt empty. It's meaningless, and I'm just tired of being gay, honestly. And I think deep down inside, like, my soul knows that the sex that comes from homosexuality is meaningless. And I think that's why so many gay people chase the next high, chase the next person. My hands were like really white, and it was throwing me off. But that's why they have, and there's apps for straight people as well. But I think that's why in the gay community, monogamy is not common. And I think that's why a lot of the gay people have multiple people that they have relationships with, and why they have open relationships is because they're not being fulfilled. Because sex is not supposed to be, you're supposed to enjoy it, but it's not supposed to be purely for enjoyment. It's to create life. And the only way you can do that naturally without intervening and pretending to be God is with a man and a woman. So I think anything outside of a heterosexual relationship is abnormal. It goes against nature. And whether it's the devil tempting me, whether it's just my own, just me not being strong, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm wired differently, if gay people are wired differently. I believe, I do believe that it's a mental illness, as at least transgenderism. I don't think anybody that is born in their body and says, I need to pump myself full of medicine and hormones and chemicals, and I need to have surgery to alter my body. I think anybody that says that is not displaying a healthy mental state. And I think homosexuality is an extension of that, is not as in depth, but because I've never wanted to be a woman. I've never wanted to dress as a woman. I've never wanted, it's not for me. So I think that there is a difference between those things, but listen, I used to be so proud to say that I was gay. Lady Gaga, I have a tattoo. For those of you that don't know me, I loved Lady Gaga. I've seen her 11 or 12 times. I live in Virginia, East Coast. I drove all the way from Virginia, all the way across the country last year to California to watch Lady Gaga headline Coachella. I used to be obsessed with this woman. But the main thing that I really, really loved about her in the beginning was her attitude and just the confidence that she had. And then, she is a pop star, and people are questioning her gender, whether or not she's a hermaphrodite, whatever. But she addressed it, but then also for a while never really addressed it, and just presented herself with confidence and said, I'm not even going to entertain that. That is what I liked about Lady Gaga. So the fame monster loved that Gaga. And then she puts out Born This Way, and that becomes this anthem for the gay community. And for me, I didn't know why at the time, but it just didn't, I don't need a song that says gay, no matter gay, straight, or bi, lesbian, transgendered life. I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way. I was born to survive. But she's contradicting herself within that lyric. Born This Way, the album as a whole, was good. Heavy Metal Lover, my favorite song, is on that album. My favorite song by Gaga. But I just think that message of being born this way is so mixed. You can't sit here and say, I'm happy that I'm born this way. God makes no mistakes. But I feel like I'm in the wrong body. That doesn't make sense. And then I'm going to go out and alter what God has given me. That makes zero sense to me. And a lot of these past few years, a lot of 2025 does not make sense to me. And the more I try to make sense of it, I've always said, you can't make sense of the senseless. And the more I try to make sense of it, the more I realize that it's just against God, and that's why it's not making sense to me. So these are struggles that I've had with my sexuality, and I'm tired of having these same struggles. I'm tired of repeating these same patterns and living the same life that I've been living, and I'm tired. I'm not giving up on my life, at all. I have way too much to give and way too much to offer to just kill myself. I'm not doing that. But I want to kill this part of me. I want to regain control over myself and my desires. And I wanted to look up the names because I don't know them because they're not in the media. But just like, again, with trying to make sense of the world and everything that we're going through, like, it doesn't make sense to me that the world is, the country specifically, is in such an uproar for Renee Good. But where was that for Charlie, you know? And the fact that I can't even say his name without getting emotional. But then his friends and family that worked with him and his wife can just go out there and parade like nothing ever happened. This is what Charlie would have wanted. Like, it makes no sense to me. No sense to me. And anybody that's ever listened to what he had to say wouldn't call him a racist, wouldn't call him a homophobe, wouldn't call him a misogynist, because that's not what he was. It's not what he was. And when I said that this was our generation's MLK, and people laughed at me, that shows me that you don't know what you're talking about. And I know what I'm talking about with Charlie. I just want to make sense of this world. And I think my proof of God is in the existence that I've had and how evil this world has become. If somebody, I mean, I'm a liberal's wet dream. I'm biracial, had a single mother, gay. Like, I should be a Democrat. I should be a liberal just based off of those little things, the things that liberals would see me as only being. And that's not what I see for myself. I am so much more than just my race and who I take to bed. And the fact that I'm trying to change who I take to bed, and the fact that I'm trying to actually have a relationship with somebody that I can have meaningful sex with, in the hopes to create another life, a life that, so I'm creating a life with another person, but we're also teaming up with God to create another life. Like, that's amazing, and that's what sex should be. But sex has become something that's obtainable and sells, and we're so desensitized to things. And Charlie's death was one more thing to desensitize us. And that's why immediately after you see Roblox and all these other games imitating his assassination. Like, it's been how many years since JFK, and they don't do that with him. It was weeks, days maybe even after Charlie died, that they're mocking him. Even if you didn't agree with what he had to say, you're a piece of shit for acting like that. And that was just kind of like the cherry on top for the way that I had been feeling leading up to September 10th. But it just doesn't make sense to me. Charlie was where he was supposed to be. He was at an event that he was putting on. And yet, people want to rally behind Renee Good, who was not where she was supposed to be. I will agree that maybe the ICE agent acted a little more aggressive than he should have. But the fact that her car was horizontal in the road for nearly 3 minutes, and she's trying to direct federal agents in how they're conducting their business, telling them to go around her, And the fact that after she was asked twice by an agent to get out of the car, and then the third time was get out of the fucking car, and then her lover tells her to drive, baby, drive, while there's an agent in front of the car. Granted, she could have been distracted by these two that were by her window and not really seen. But then we saw his video and she's looking at his camera. It doesn't matter which way her wheels were turned. She was already impeding an investigation. She was already where she wasn't supposed to be. She was already setting up herself for failure. Charlie was where he was supposed to be. Charlie was with who he was supposed to be with, and doing what he was supposed to be doing, which was bringing people to common sense and to Jesus. But the fact that people mock his death and then rally behind Renee Good, she's the white female version of George Floyd. That's all she is. He was a criminal. He beat women. Should the cop have been on his back for as long as he was? Probably not. But did George Floyd set himself up for failure? 100%. Did Renee Good set herself up for failure? 100%. Did Charlie Kirk set himself up for failure? Not at all. Did any of those three people deserve to be murdered? Not at all. But I can't make sense of this situation. I can't make sense of how Obama's bumped out more people or an equal amount of people as Trump, but he's a hero and he loves this country and Trump is destroying it. Like, what? That makes zero sense. ICE didn't just start. ICE started in 2003. After 9/11, after we were attacked. We want to know who's in our country. Trump loves America. Charlie loved America. I love America. And I love myself. And that's why I want to save myself, because I don't think that the path that I've been on for these past years and listening to Lady Gaga encourage people to, and that with everything with Charlie was just the cherry on top, because Gaga sits there and praises people being strong and encouraging people to speak their truth. And that's all Charlie did. And he was murdered for it in front of the people that supported him. And again, I wasn't expecting Gaga to come out and, I know she was advocating for Hillary. I know she was advocating for Kamala. I wasn't expecting her to say, R.I.P. Charlie. I can't believe that happened. But you should have said, I don't want to live in a country that people are shot and killed because of speaking their truth. And it wasn't ever hateful. He was never hateful. Any of the little clips that were going around calling him out for being a racist or whatever, you need to educate yourselves. You need to listen to the full thing, because again, I've followed Charlie since the beginning. I went from watching him going to campuses and everybody like booing him and being so hateful, and then watching it turn over the years to now he's with a majority of people that support him and appreciate what he's doing and saying. There is nothing ever hateful that man said, even to those that were so nasty to him. But I can't make sense of this world, and the only thing that I can do to try to make sense of this world is to change what I'm doing. And Charlie's made me want to get closer to God. And I can't do what I've been doing and call myself a Christian. I don't call myself a Christian yet, even though I've been going to church. I think there's a lot of evil in churches. I think there's a lot of demons. The devil is everywhere. and he will present himself as the Savior and encourage people to do what is against God so that he has control over their souls. And I think Gaga plays a part in that. And not just Gaga, I think the majority, 98% of mainstream media and artists, and I mean, Taylor Swift, she, even though she's super, safe, I would say, she still has a political agenda behind what she's saying, and trying to call out ICE. Like, all of these celebrities that are trying to call out the government need to sit down and shut the fuck up, because at the end of the day, even if Trump was inciting a civil war and shit were to hit the fan, y'all are not going to be affected by this. Y'all have somewhere to go. We, everyday, no-name people, are the ones that are going to be fucked. So stop encouraging people to vote a certain way when at the end of the day it's not going to affect you. You just want to be there as and saying what you think your fans want to hear from you. And I'm sure they do want to hear it, because they're brainwashed by everything. I want people to pull their heads out of their own asses and come up for air and educate yourself. Please. Please. I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of feeling like my life has no meaning. I'm tired of feeling empty. And I want more of a purpose in my life. I want to be something better than what I have been. And getting closer to God has shown me that I am now on the right path, and I'm going to continue down this path and continue walking until I'm closer to God. And I want to help make heaven crowded. I want people to realize that there's not your sexuality and your race are not the only things that matter about you. And you don't need a month to celebrate any of that. I think we need to abolish gay history, or well, not gay history, Black History Month and Pride Month. That's insane. Pride is a sin, for one. And you can't say God isn't real and that we, live in a country free of religion, freedom to choose whatever religion we want. Yeah, we do. But our moral compass is based off of the Bible. It lays out what's right and what's wrong. And then we've continued that and put it into our laws. And if we didn't have a God, if there wasn't any good, we wouldn't be seeing what is happening in this country, in this world, as evil. It would just be, oh, it's a Tuesday. But the fact that Renee Good is shot and killed, and we're calling that evil because she was peacefully protesting, you're basing murder off of something. Otherwise, it would be a free-for-all. It'd be a purge. It would be, I don't agree with what you're saying, so I'm going to shoot you, Charlie, and I'm going to Tyler Robinson, I'm going to be free. Tyler Robinson. I'm tired of being gay. I'm tired of this world being so gay. I'm tired of my country being gay. I'm tired of men being gay. I'm tired of being hyper fixated and over sexualizing people. Like, I live at the beach. During the summertime, everybody's shirtless, everybody's in bathing suits. Like, I'm tired of just not being able to go through a day and not have just constantly thinking of sex. And I'm not saying it's because I'm gay that I struggle with a high sex drive, but I do think it plays a part in how I've gotten to this point. I don't know. I'm just tired of being gay. Honestly. And I'm not saying that I'm gay anymore, because there's no reason to have pride in that. There's no reason to celebrate that, especially for a full month. I celebrate myself every day. It was my birthday a couple days ago. I don't celebrate my birthday. Every day that I'm alive is a blessing and worth celebrating. God is good every day in all ways. And even though what happened to Charlie happened to him, I think it maybe is what a lot of us needed to wake up. Because I've been wanting to get closer to God. And I was reading my Bible sporadically here and there before September 10th. But after that, and realizing that somebody that you see as invincible is just as human as you and I. And in any moment, this journey can be ripped from you. I want to be sure that I'm close to God whenever that moment happens for me. And I'm going to pray for everybody that watches this video, that you too get closer to God. And I'm going to pray for this country, that we get great. I'm going to pray for all my haters. I'm going to pray for all the wrongdoers. I'm going to pray for everybody that laughs at me getting emotional. The black gay guy getting emotional for Charlie Kirk. That's rich. I'll pray for all of you. And if you believe in it, I want you to pray for me too. Pray for my strength to keep carrying me forward and to not allow me to relapse, because I'm so tired of this life that I live. But just because I'm tired of this life doesn't mean I'm giving up on it. I'm giving this life up and creating a new one. But me as a human, I'm so valuable. You're so valuable. We are all valuable pieces to this puzzle. We are all God experiencing life in human form. And I believe that. And I think we're all tempted by things, and I think we all have our own demons. And I think for a lot of people, that demon is homosexuality. And I think that's why it's so celebrated, and I think that's why they took God out of public schools. That's why they're not teaching kids how to read cursive anymore, so they don't know what the Constitution says. They don't know what their rights are. So when they start taking them away, they don't even realize it. I work with younger people. I'm going to wrap it up after this, but they said that the majority of the people don't even stand for the Pledge of Allegiance anymore. And the fact that the American flag is being used to identify people who are extremist or racist. Like, what are you talking about? That is your country. That is your country's flag. You need to celebrate that shit. You need to be proud to be an American. And, I mean, with the way this country has been going, it's hard to be proud of it. But I'm proud of Donald Trump. I'm proud of Charlie Kirk. I'm proud of all the conservatives, most of the conservatives. There's a few that are corrupt. But God bless anybody that watches this video. God bless this country. And God, I'll continue my journey until I'm perfectly aligned with you. Love and blessings to everybody.